I'm changing my career at 52 years old. I spent the last 30 years as a news anchor, and I am turning the page. You know, when you hear like, oh, it's my passion, like passion is one thing. This is like inside of me and it has to come out. Like I can feel it. I can really feel it. And so when I made that decision, it was a hard decision. And I've asked a lot of people close to me, am I doing the right thing? But I know I'm doing the right thing. I've seen women, men too, but women come before me and make a big, bold decision like that. And I think, oh my gosh, they're so brave. And so now I'm the one making that bold decision. And every once in a while I wake up and can't believe I am. I'm nervous. Because I've never done anything else. I was a server at Ruby Tuesdays, and then I was a news anchor. And those are the only two jobs I've ever had. I've been a journalist my whole adult life. I have had a tremendous career. I went from Oak Hill, West Virginia, to Charleston, West Virginia, to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to Orlando, Florida, to Philadelphia, and then finally New York. New York was where I always wanted to get to. And along the way, I did some incredible things. I was sent over to Afghanistan. I was embedded with troops there during the war. I have covered hurricanes, chased hurricanes across this country, covered stories in all different communities across the country in any market I've been in, and met incredible people. So I only thought this was what I was going to do forever. Like, I never saw myself doing anything else. And so that's scary. And that's exciting at the same time, because I was talking to Ira the other night and he's like, okay, but you've done that now. So what else do you want to do? And about a year ago, I posted a video with advice talking about 52 things I've learned in 52 years. And that video opened up my eyes and opened up a whole new world to me. And we did like a bunch of those videos. And over the course of the last year now, I have met, oh my gosh, I've met people I never knew, people I wanted to meet. I have been stopped in the street with people like in tears thanking me for advice. And that advice comes from just being around for such a long time. And there's like younger women sending it to their moms sending it to their daughters, which is really cool. The advice from dating, which I talked about a lot, and relationships and menopause and women's health. And then I think most of all is kind of figuring out what's next. And I've given a lot of advice about that, of, you know, kind of figuring out the next course of your life and what your next chapter is. And, you know, really preaching that you can do anything at any age. You can create this great life at any age if that's what you're determined to do. And now I'm finally living my message. It wasn't a light decision, didn't come easy, but I know it's the right decision. And then what's next has yet to be determined. Well, has yet to be determined in this sense. I don't know exactly. I'm not going to go to a job, November the 11th. Like what I used to do is go from like one job, the next job, the next job. This is a little bit different. You know, this is new media. This is social media, digital, telling stories, helping people with those stories, helping women, figuring out next steps in my own career. I have a book that I sold to Hachette, and so I have a book that's going to be coming out talking about midlife, menopause, and finding meaning, because I think that is what we're all trying to do right now. And so I'm super excited about that. I have a documentary in the works as well on the same topic. And I'm going to keep hanging out with you guys on social media and really make that a part of what I do, you know, and make that a part of the storytelling, because these are the stories that I want to tell, that I want to learn about. I want to learn how to create a better life. This next half is not something that, you know, my mom died at 51 years old, so I never looked at the next half of my life because I didn't have any roadmap. I didn't have anything to see or aspire to. I just didn't know what that looked like. And now I'm in it. I'm, almost 2 years past when she died. And I realize that, like, I have to be appreciative of this time, and I want to do something that's meaningful and makes a difference. So, okay. One other way I'm going to be telling stories, and I would love to hear from anybody that has some. I'm relaunching the podcast. So the podcast was called Coming Up Next, which, hello, because of being a news anchor. And that was really fun, and it served its time, and it was... the stories that I got to tell were awesome, and the interviews I got to do. But I really feel like I need to just branch out a little bit and have it a little more clear of what I'm talking about now. And I do say the phrase, just so you know, often when I'm trying to share something or share some advice or be a friend or be a big sister or be a whatever somebody needs. And so the podcast is just so you know, and I'm working with a new group of people to bring that to you. So I'm excited about it. I have a whole list of people that I want to interview. I have a whole list of topics I want to talk about. And I can't wait to get your questions because I want to talk about those too on the podcast. Like I want to do things that really directly matter. Here's something about television. And it's been my first love. But I feel like with television, I always talked at people and now I can talk with people. And that's the difference of this medium. And that's the difference of what I'm able to do with new media and with social. So I think there's always going to be a place for television somewhere down the road, but this is where I think that you can have messages that really carry on and interactive messages so people can respond to them and tell you if you're going in the right direction or give you another way to look at things or kind of course correct that. And I want there to be good voices that are out there, voices out there that are giving advice. I've been around the block and around the block. So I've had a few experiences, 1 or 2 or 3. So for the next month or so, I'm going to be releasing videos here with some tools I think that I'm using to get through this what's next. Like, this is kind of my next chapter, now what's going on, and everything changes, right? From the clothes that I wear, I have a closet full of newsgirl dresses that are every color of the rainbow, to my schedule, to my workout, to being more consistent with, cooking and eating and what I'm doing to go into this next transition. I mean, this transition is a big one for me, and I know a lot of you have talked about your own and are going through it, so I'm going to release any tools that are working for me in hopes that they help you. And I would like you to keep in touch with me and let me know what's working and maybe what you're doing too, and see if I can incorporate that as well along the way. It's kind of exciting. No, it is exciting.